It started with a golden escalator. On a summer day in 2015, a man descended from the marble heights of Trump Tower, his entrance as dramatic as the political storm that would follow. Flanked by American flags and surrounded by gleaming gold, Donald J. Trump announced a campaign that, at first, few took seriously. But that descent wasn't just a flashy stunt. It was the beginning of one of the most shocking ascents in modern American history. To understand how Donald Trump captured the highest office in the land, you have to rewind, not to 2015 or even the early 2000s, but to the New York of the 1970s, a gritty city in decline. Amidst crime, graffiti, and bankrupt government coffers, one young developer with a loud mouth and a bigger ego saw opportunity where others saw ruin. His name was Donald John Trump. Born in Queens in 1946, the son of real estate developer Fred Trump, Donald wasn't raised like most children. He was raised with a mantra: think big, act bold, win at all costs. At age 13, he was shipped off to military school, not for discipline, but for direction. It was there that young Donald learned the value of dominance, control, and always being on the offensive. By his 20s, he wasn't content with inheriting his father's empire. Fred Trump had built apartments in the outer boroughs. Donald wanted skyscrapers in Manhattan. His first big move, the Commodore Hotel, a decaying property near Grand Central Station. With heavy help from political connections, a massive tax abatement, and pure bravado, Trump transformed it into the Grand Hyatt, thrusting himself onto the front pages of New York tabloids. The 1980s were Donald Trump's golden era. Trump Tower became the glittering symbol of his ambition: 5-star luxury, marble floors, and a waterfall lobby. He slapped his name on buildings, casinos, yachts, even an airline. The media couldn't get enough of him. He was rich, he was loud, and he was always selling something: deals, dreams, and most of all, himself. But behind the curtain of opulence, cracks began to show. His empire was heavily leveraged. The early 1990s brought recession, and with it, bankruptcy filings, debt restructuring, and public humiliation. At one point, Trump owed nearly $1 billion. His net worth? Less than zero. But here's the twist. He survived. Not just financially, but in the public eye. How? Because Donald Trump didn't just build buildings. He built a brand, and that brand became bulletproof. In 2004, a second act began. The Apprentice wasn't just a hit TV show, it was a masterclass in image control. "You're fired" became a national catchphrase. Trump became a fixture in American homes, polished, powerful, in charge. Many viewers didn't see a businessman playing a role. They saw a mogul who had mastered success. Then came the birther movement, a controversial, racially charged conspiracy theory targeting President Barack Obama. Trump championed it loudly. Critics called it dangerous and unfounded. Supporters saw a man unafraid to challenge the establishment. By the time 2015 rolled around, Trump wasn't just a celebrity. He was a cultural force. So when he launched his presidential campaign with fiery rhetoric about immigration, China, and the political elite, the media laughed. Late-night hosts mocked. Pollsters dismissed him. But something strange began to happen. His support didn't shrink. It surged. The more he offended, the more airtime he got. The more outrageous the comment, the more headlines he earned. And behind the noise, millions of Americans were listening and nodding. He spoke to frustration, to fear, to those who felt ignored by Washington. Fact-checkers screamed. His supporters shrugged. Career politicians underestimated him. Opponents fell one by one. Bush, Rubio, Cruz, and then Hillary Clinton, the most experienced, most prepared presidential candidate in modern history, faced the most unorthodox challenger imaginable. Election night, 2016. The map turned red. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. The blue wall collapsed. A billionaire with no political or military experience was elected President of the United States. But the story doesn't end there. Trump's presidency was unlike anything before it. A constant clash of chaos and control. Tweets became official statements. Advisors came and went like characters in a revolving door drama. He faced investigations, impeachments, a pandemic, a racial reckoning, and a Capitol insurrection. Supporters called him a warrior against the deep state. Critics labeled him a threat to democracy. Yet through it all, Trump remained a singular force in American politics. Even after leaving office, he retained a grip on the Republican Party and much of the nation's attention. So how did he do it? Donald Trump understood something fundamental. In the age of media saturation, perception is power. He turned controversy into currency, outrage into loyalty, and chaos into momentum. Whether hailed as a hero or condemned as a demagogue, he reshaped the rules of the game and dared anyone to stop him. From the gold-plated towers of Manhattan to the Oval Office of the White House, Donald Trump's rise wasn't just improbable, it was unprecedented.